Hi there, this is Business with Dave. In this video, I'll be talking about why buying stocks is a long-term game and it's not a short-term fix, and it's so easy to forget that in terms of learning about your financial education and just understanding that stocks won't make you rich straight away. Some maybe luckily can do, but it is a long-term game and we should really see it as a long-term game instead of a short-term gain. So before I jump into this video, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. You guys are all awesome, and if you haven't already and you do find this video useful, do click that subscribe button. It'll be so helpful in terms of visibility and it'll give me like a nice boost as well. So let's jump in straight into this video. So in terms of stocks, we spoke about stocks in the previous videos, and in this video in particular, I do want to talk about buying good companies that will last the distance. And I think some of these big companies will be costing more money, but the key thing is there will be times where it will be a recession. There will be times where there will be a dip. There will be financial disarray, and these companies, these solid companies, will drop in their share prices and stock prices, and I think that's when you should definitely buy. The people that say what you should be doing when you're buying stocks is you should be buying great companies when it's the low price, and to avoid buying at the high price. And I think that's so easy to forget when you're looking at different companies day to day, week by week, month by month. Most of these solid companies won't drop their share prices by much, and I think that's perfectly okay if you do want to invest into these companies. It's just that you want to be aware that there will be times where it will fluctuate, and it is a long-term game. So if you do buy it at a slightly higher to medium price, hopefully over time it will gain prices over time anyway. So whether it does dip a bit, it will go back up. So don't see it as, oh my god, I just lost a lot of money. See it as you just need to be calm, hold it, and be persistent. If you've done your research and you know that it's a solid company that's got a solid management, good team, good product, good service, then you should be worried of the future, because ultimately these companies will hopefully come out good in the end. And I think whether it is on the high end, only time will tell. And I think that's the risky part, that you need to understand that with all stock buying, it is super risky. And I think once you feel comfortable and you could invest 20 or 15% of your potential earnings into it, you could have a bit more leeway to play around with. And I think that's so important. Don't put your day-to-day money spending into it, your rent money, your food money, because if it goes down south, you just don't blame me. But you do want to be cautious, and I think that's the key here. You don't want to be too risky unless you are comfortable with the risk to start with. And when we talk about long term, we're talking about maybe a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. Don't think about a week or a month and think, oh my god, that is a long time, because it is not a long time at all. So do think of it as a long-term game and see it as a way for you to build wealth for the future, because these companies might not be doing so well now, but hopefully in a couple of years time they will have the footfall, they will have the traction, and hopefully if you've done your research well enough, they will bring in their added value and the share prices will go up in that sense. So do see it as a long-term game instead of a short-term gain, because I think there's so much statistics and research into people buying and selling, hoping to beat the market, and the reality is nobody knows what happens to the market really. So some people will have a rough idea, but those people are not going to be telling other people. So do see it as you learning as you go along, and it's perfectly okay to make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. We are all human at the end of the day, and there's nothing that stocks will do to hopefully harm us, but we will be super cautious in terms of using stocks and buying stocks and selling stocks. Do keep it as long as you can, and hopefully you can build more longer wealth. But the statistics is people tend to sell all the best stocks and just buy really bad ones. And I think if that's the reality and you're keeping your bad stocks as well, it's just going to bring your portfolio down. So do take your time with it, do think it through and do your research and due diligence and see it as a long-term thing. So don't be too rash or hasty or panicky, because we can all be like that. We're all humans, we could all be like that, but we can stop ourselves from going overboard. So hopefully you can take that on board and that you can feel a bit more comfortable as you invest slowly, small amounts into different companies and build your portfolio like that. Hopefully you found this video useful and that you can take your time with it, and it's perfectly okay to take your time with it. I've been Business with Dave. Like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to the channel. Would be awesome if you can, and it would be super helpful. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.